Hey, hi kids. It's Mr. Larry. And I don't know where you are, and I don't know when you're watching this, but I'll tell you where I am right now, it is cold. It's really cold. We've got maybe, well, it's halfway up towards my knee with snow, and we had some wind, but not too much, thank goodness. And today it's really, really cold out there, but we're going to have a clear sky tonight. So maybe I can go out and look for the green comet. They say that tonight is the best night to look for it with just your eyes and no binoculars. So if you are watching this and it happens to be the first day of February in the year 2023, and if it's clear outside, check a website, do some investigation and see what time would be a good time to go outside, get very, very cold and look for a green comet. And I hope you see it. I have seen some of the comets. They are visible sometimes. Maybe this will be one of those times. But back to the business at hand. Today, we've got a cold, cold story to go with my cold, cold time here. It's called TukTuk, Tundra Tale. You know what tundra is? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And if you don't, here's a chance to do some research. Oh boy. There might be some more chances to do research as we go on through the story. Just maybe. Let's find out. Are you ready? Let's read. Oh, first of all, I gotta tell you. I'm sorry. Can we go back a page? I messed up because I was supposed to tell you who wrote the book and who illustrated it. Okay. The author is Robin Curry. Robin wrote the book. The illustrator is Phyllis Saroff. Phyllis painted the pictures, and boy, are they nice. Wow. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Here we go. Let's read. At the top of the world, an Inuit driver cried to the sled dogs, "Hike!" Here's our first two research questions. Inuit. Do you know about the Inuit? Are they the people that some people call Eskimos? Or are there some other people that live in the north? And then my second question is, if somebody is driving a team of sled dogs, pulling their sled, what do they call out to them? Do they call out hike, which is what I thought quarterbacks said in football, or do they call out mush? I don't know. I do know that some of the drivers call out mush, but I don't know if that's the authentic one or not. Maybe that's just what us Southerners say, and what the Northerners, the people that really started the sled dogging, maybe they say hike. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, I do know what dogs say. Bark, 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 bark. And I'm going to start and read again because I've been interrupting too much. Sorry. Here we go. At the top of the world, an Inuit driver cried to the sled dogs, hike, bark, 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 bark. He saw the setting sun on the ice, but he did not see one furry hammock slip under the ropes and off of the sled. Hike! Bark, 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 bark. Here's our next research question. What's a hammock? I think I know, and I bet you do too, just looking at the picture. Yep. Yeah, something's furry on that one. Two things are furry, but one of them fell off the sled. Three things are furry. Five, four, lots of furry things there. I wish I had a furry coat to put on right now. Let's see what happens next. Oh, look down here in the corner. There's TukTuk. TukTuk saw what the driver did not. Oh ho! What'll happen next? TukTuk hid until the dogs were out of sight. Good, good, good. The collared lemming was almost ready for the Arctic winter. Two more questions. Sorry. Gotta do it. Collard, Collard. Now, that's a word that I usually use with some greens that I grow in the garden. Collard greens. Yum, yum. With black-eyed peas and brown rice. Oh, boy. Little hot sauce. Anyway, so that's collard, Collard, for greens that we grow in the garden, and maybe also for this little furry white fellow down here. And then again, maybe it should be Collared, meaning something that has a collar. Well, he doesn't really have a collar. We'll take a good look at him later on and see something else he does have. But there's some more research for you. Look up collared lemming and see what it has to say. How did he get that name? Well, again, I'll go back to the top and read some more. TukTuk hid until the dogs were out of sight. The collared lemming was almost ready for the Arctic winter. His fur had changed from summer brown to snowy white. And then TukTuk had used his long front claws to dig a deep hole in the hummock. What's a hummock? Do you know? Give you a hint. It's a little hill. Now TukTuk searched the tundra. What's tundra? For musk ox hair to line his winter nest. Musk ox. I got to find some pictures of musk oxen. Wow. Oh, and look down here in the corner. Perfect, he said. One furry comic. Comic? I don't know how you pronounce that. Comic is just right for a collared lemming. Well, yeah. I bet he could curl up in there all snug. Of course, he does have that nice little burrow he dug. Well, as TukTuk dragged it to his hummock, Putak, the polar bear, plodded out from a nearby pingo. Whoa, my golly. Okay. We're going to have to do a lot more research, aren't we? For starters, is Putak the Inuit name for an animal, a polar bear? Is TukTuk the Inuit name for a little white guy like this guy? A lemming? What do you think? And then, furthermore, what in the world is a pingo? You know, sometimes I'm really glad there's an internet. Other times, not so much. Right now, I'm glad for it. And I'm going to go look, and I hope you will too. Anyway, TukTuk and Putak the polar bear. TukTuk, Putak called. Winter is coming. Soon we will not see the sun at all. I need something to keep warm. Putak looked at TukTuk and said, aha, one furry comic. TukTuk wanted that furry comic. As the last rays of the setting Arctic sun glittered in his little lemming eyes, he said, Putak, you are right. You need this furry comic. I think you should wear it on your nose. Really? Said Putak. He pressed his face into the comic until it stuck. Perfect, he said. One furry comic is just right for a polar bear. Aw, he's going to take it away from our poor little guy. Aw. Putak snorted. The muskox fur inside the comic tickled his nose. Putak gave a huge sneeze. Ka-choo! And the comic blew right off and landed by TukTuk. Growled Putak as he ambled away. No one needs one furry comic. I'm going to pause now because I'm having video problems. Well, I took a little time out there. I don't know if you noticed or not. Maybe it didn't even show up, but I was having video problems. Anyway, here we are back again, and maybe you were here all along, but let's keep reading. TukTuk saw sundogs glow on either side of the sun. And if you look down in the little picture inset there, see those three bright spots? The center one is the sun. And those two on the side, they're like bright spots in the sky that look like tiny little bits of rainbows. Sometimes you can see a whole halo around the sun, a big circle like a circular rainbow. Wow. And when you just see little ones like this side by side with it, those are called sundogs. Yeah, you can see them. Sometimes they're out there. And way up north, they're out there a lot more than they are down here in the southern places. Well, sundogs, yeah. So TukTuk dragged his furry comic toward the hummock, but Aput, the Arctic fox, trotted by. TukTuk, she called, winter is coming. Soon there will be no light for 3 long months. Wow, I need something to keep warm. Aput looked at TukTuk and said, aha, one furry comic. The glow of the Arctic twilight sparkled in TukTuk's little lemming eyes, and he said, Aput, you are right. You need this furry comic. I think you should wear it on your tail. Really? Said Aput. She twisted until her bushy tail was completely inside. Perfect, she said. One furry comic is just right for an Arctic fox. Mm-hmm. As she walked away, she swished her tail from side to side, and the comic flew off her tail and high into the air. Bash! It kicked her in the chin before landing in the snow right next to TukTuk. Tosh! Snarled Aput as she pranced away. No one needs one furry comic. TukTuk saw the first snowflakes and dragged his furry comic faster. But before he reached his hummock, Masak, the caribou, tramped by. TukTuk, she called, winter is coming. Soon all we will see is a whiteout that blurs the snow and sky. I need something to keep warm. Masak looked at TukTuk and said, Aha, one furry comic. Polaris appeared in the expanding night sky and glittered in TukTuk's little lemming eyes. Oh boy, Polaris. Do you know another name for Polaris? There's something to ask about, something to look up. Yeah, it's a pretty name, isn't it, Polaris? But we know it by another name. And there it is, shining bright up there in the sky. It has a job to do also, or at least we've given it a job. When we see Polaris, we know where north is. If we look around from side to side and see Polaris, that's north. Great, and now I know where everything else is. If you know where north is, you can also figure out where east and south and west are. Yeah, but back to the story. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Polaris appeared in the expanding night sky and glittered in TukTuk's little lemming eyes. TukTuk said, Masak, you are right. You need this furry comic. I think you should wear it on your hoof. Really? Said Masak. She shoved a strong leg and hoof into the comic. Perfect, she said. One furry comic is just right for a caribou. She stepped into the snow, but the comic stuck in a frost boil. What's a frost boil? We're getting all kinds of new things here. A frost boil. Well, Masak pulled and pulled. Splat! As it came unstuck, cold mud splattered the caribou. The comic slid off her hoof and landed right on TukTuk's hummock. Humph! Snorted Masak as she galloped away. No one needs one furry comic. Ha ha! And I guess looking at the picture, we know what a frost boil is, don't we? I don't know why, but that's what it is. So the Northern Lights, have you ever seen them? Wow. The Northern Lights shone in TukTuk's delighted little lemming eyes. He dove in, nose first. Ha ha, home at last. Oh, look. TukTuk snuggled down, curling in all four paws and every bit of his tail. He gave a happy sigh and said, Perfect. One furry comic is just right for a collared lemming. Nighty-night, TukTuk. Sleep tight for the next 3 months. Yeah. Well, that's our story for today. Lots of things to think about, maybe a little research to do. Love the pictures. Did you see a kind of a sly grin on TukTuk's face sometimes? He knew what he was doing, didn't he? So, okay. I hope that if you are in a cold place now, I hope you're staying warm. If you're in a warm place, I hope you're not overdoing it. And I guess I got to say again what I always say, and that is work hard, study hard, play hard, have a lot of fun, be nice to everybody, okay? And we'll see you next time, and we'll read some more. Take good care. Peace and love. Bye-bye.